Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 in the week 2 discussion board. I think this subject is going to be fascinating. I find it fascinating, so I hope you do as well. What we're going to be talking about in this week's discussion board is Slacktivism. Now the term Slacktivism is what's called a portmanteau. This is a combination of two terms, slacker and activism. Slacktivism. We know what those two terms are, so you can probably guess what slacktivist or slacktivism is. Now, read the article that is attached and watch the video, the YouTube video that's attached as well, because that's going to give you some very much needed background on this subject. So the question really is this: does our technology make us lazy? Now, slacktivism is something that seems to kind of point to the idea that we are lazy. The example given is something that happened a number of years ago in the country of Nigeria, which is a massive country in West Africa. There is a terrorist organization, a radical Islamist terrorist organization called Boko Haram, and they went into an area, and there was, I think it was a school that they took over, and they kidnapped hundreds of girls, very, very young girls. And these girls, they said, were going to be married off to men. They were going to be forced to convert if they had already converted into Islam, forced to marry men, or sold right into slavery. You know, think about that. 11, 12, 13-year-old girls. Now, the world was horrified, and so what did we do? Well, of course, we went on Twitter, right? I know. But we started this hashtag, Bring Back Our Girls, and all the famous people and all the pretty faces from Hollywood and everyone started using this hashtag because somehow miraculously that was going to save these girls. Well, guess what? It didn't. Duh. This is slacktivism. This is essentially the idea that we would rather do something like go on Twitter, go on Facebook, and post our disagreement with something, our disgust with something without actually doing anything. We can do this from the comfort of our own couch. We can do this from the comfort of a bench at the park. We don't really need to raise money. We don't really need to convene a congressional committee. We don't really need to work with churches and organizations and whatever to try to help something change. We tweet something, right? And that's become something that has raised a lot of frustration and concern among many people, especially activists, because they see this as just kind of laziness. Another example was not that long ago, there was a massive terrorist attack in Paris, France, and hundreds of people were killed, and including at a big rock concert where people were mowed down, horrible things. So what happened? Well, people went on Facebook and they changed their profile picture and they put up a picture of the Eiffel Tower, and they said something like, "We stand with Paris," or they have, that's great. It was a horrible thing. It's good that we did that. But does it change anything? No, it doesn't. Not a single thing changes. Remember the ALS Life Bucket, or the Ice Bucket Challenge, where people were pouring ice over their heads, and most of the people had no idea what they were doing. They had no idea that this was to try to fight a horrible degenerative neurological disease called ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. It was just a fun thing that you did. This is all slacktivism. So the question for you guys today, for this week, is: has our technology made us lazy? Do we do this kind of thing because it makes us feel good, right? It makes us feel passionate about something, but we really don't have to do anything. We really don't have to get our hands dirty. We really don't have to make ourselves uncomfortable to try to make something better. We just tweet out our displeasure, or we tweet out encouragement, or we update our Facebook profile and it says something that makes us feel good about ourselves. Are we essentially lazy? And if so, why? Give me some examples. So that's what you're going to be doing this week. We're going to talk about slacktivism. We're going to talk about whether or not our technology, whether or not our social media makes us lazier. Does it make us bad critical thinkers? Okay? Now, do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? Now, in this board, feel free to say whatever you want. Disagreement is encouraged, okay? To each other, be kind, but really think about this a lot and really try to come up with some examples of why you think slacktivism is a real problem, or why you think it might not be a problem. So I'm going to be posting in all of your discussion threads to encourage you to think differently about some things, and I please encourage you to look at all the different threads and really try to comment as much as possible. The more comments you have, the more fruitful, the more interesting this discussion is going to be. Look forward to seeing what you all bring to the table. Thanks.